joined by Rosie O'Reilly here, who has been hugely involved in ladies football in New York. Rosie, tell us a little bit about it here at the moment.
Well, as you know, Pierce, we had a brilliant year this year. We made it to the All-Ireland junior final for the first time in 10 years. It was great. It absolutely gave ladies football here a fantastic boost. As you can see, we have a fabulous underage system here. We have over 650 young girls, young Irish-American girls playing ladies football at the moment.
What about the club structure here in New York at the moment?
Well, at the moment we have 5 senior clubs, and in the underage we have possibly about another 5 or 6. Tell
us a little bit about your own life here in New York.
Basically, Gaelic football takes over our lives over here, and everything is based around football, the football season.
Working hard though,
Working hard, still in the Riverdale Steakhouse after 20 years.
Good stuff. Well, listen, we'll chat to you a little bit later.
Thank you, Pierce, thanks.
Now, the GAA, the Gaelic Athletic Association, and indeed Gaelic Park in the Bronx, while it's synonymous with the Irish community here on McLean Avenue and right around New York City. And Irish TV were thrilled to be invited along earlier this week.
We're in pretty good shape, I would suggest you. We have a vibrant underage system going, 16 clubs ranging in under 8s to under 21s. Their spring season is about to start. And they'll go for about 6 or 8 weeks, and they'll take a break and they'll come back in the fall again. Our own season will kick off on the 1st of April with the Cavan 7-a-sides, and then we'll kick off full lash the Sunday after Easter. We have 4 or 5 new junior teams in football came in this year. We'll have 13, I think, junior teams in total, so that's, tells you something about the way things are going. They're expanding. We're in pretty good shape, I would suggest, at this stage. So we've been renovating this place for the last couple of months, and there's been a Trojan amount of work done by volunteers in here. And so on the 1st of April, rather like the Cavan 7-a-sides, we hope it will open up, and Gaelic Park will be run by the GAA for the first time in 78 years. We'll have the bar, we'll have the dining facility, we'll have the concessions, and we'll be running that ourselves. We have the field, as you know, and we redeveloped that 4 years ago. We put down the artificial surface, and that was arguably the greatest thing we've ever done, because we've had to play every game that we have all year around here, and we share it, of course, with Manhattan College. The irony of the economy in Ireland is that usually when the economy is doing badly, we're doing well, and vice versa. We saw lots of people going home during the so-called Celtic Tiger years. They haven't come back as much as you would have anticipated, given the economic circumstances in Ireland, or at least the stories we hear about the economic circumstances in Ireland. We tend to think that they're going elsewhere. The rumour would seem to suggest going to Canada and going to Australia, because technically they can't get in here.
Standard of football isn't too bad, you've fellas coming and going all the time, it makes things interesting. As for the senior team, we're just flat out training, doing the best we can, Sligo now is the next big team out on the 6th of May. We're hoping to give them a good run for it now, we got a bit of a bad beating against Roscommon last year, but the year before we ran Galway close, but we're slowly getting there, it's just commitment with work from everybody, is probably the key that's setting us back a small bit, football at the end of the day probably takes a step back, work and getting your rent paid is the main aim of the game out here at the moment.